I've seen men provide 100% without having so much. And like the brother said, long as they're staying within their standards. I don't think a man should get into a relationship with a woman until he knows he's able to handle all responsibilities by himself, just in case that woman leaves him. Because if you're in a relationship with a woman and you're living with a woman and she's paying half and you're paying half and she leaves you, what are you gonna do? Lose everything you have, your car, your home? A man has to be able to provide for himself and another comfortably before he entertains a woman. But not just speaking on the financial part, a man needs to make sure he's spiritually whole, mentally whole, emotionally whole. Because if he's coming from America and coming from certain backgrounds, majority of the time they're scarred. Even if they were raised in home with two parents, they're scarred and they're battling some form of childhood trauma. And men, we get so caught up in our ego and our pride, we tend to bleed on the person that's right next to us, forgetting this person's on our team. Now we're stressed out because we can't pay the bills like we should. She's fussing at us. Now what we do, we drinking more, we smoking more, we're trying to run away from the truth. We're trying to run away from our children. Brothers, if you're listening to me and you didn't have the proper father in your life, please, I beg you, take care of yourself. Love yourself. Provide for yourself. Spend the first 5 years of your adulthood working on becoming the man that you need to be so you can get the woman you want and not the woman you settled for. Because a lot of men are getting into relationships with women they're settling for because they can't get the woman that they truly want. Now they're misusing this woman, abusing this woman. Children come, they leave this woman. Most men that leave women because they weren't properly good with them. They didn't love them. They couldn't connect to them on all levels. They got a woman that took them at the level which they were on, and a woman that they truly wanted, they're not going to look at them. So all I'm saying to my brothers, and I love what Antoine, I don't disagree when he said family is business. No, man, I for sure, it's business. But brothers, please take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, financially. Make sure you're talking to counselors. Make sure you're dealing with childhood trauma, especially if you were raised in homes with abusive fathers, either verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, or physically abusive, or you didn't have a father whatsoever. Spend this time in your adulthood loving on yourself, protecting yourself, leading yourself, and guiding yourself. So when you do find a woman that you love, you don't break her. Women can't endure what we endure. They can't do it. And when a man is building on the come up, we pour so much hurt onto our women because men get stressed out. When we trying to build, we get stressed out. To get to where me and Antoine's at, we put a lot of work in, and it came with a lot of pain. It wasn't peaches and creams and kumbayas. It's, I got to figure this out. Oh, what's going on? And sometimes the woman right next to us gets this attitude, gets this aggression, not because we don't love them, but they're right next to us. So we're bleeding on them without meaning to, and we're blessed to have women, because I believe your wife was with you on your come up, right?
Absolutely. I've known her since high school.
They were able to endure the men till we got to this level, because I wasn't this man 10, 20 years ago, but I had to go through so much to become this man, from trial and error, and I'm just blessed to have a woman that was able to endure it. A lot of women don't have the endurance for that, and a man should never bleed on his woman if he says he loves her. Brothers, please heal yourselves first, and then get into a relationship with a woman.
There you have. So we got, man, Anton, you was right, because this not about to be 2 hours.
It's about to be a full.
I got a question.
Okay, we're gonna get this question going, and then we're gonna get to the next round.
Couple different questions. Number one, I wonder why he didn't say men that also have abusive mothers, because he said abusive fathers. He didn't say abusive mothers also, right? Because again, he never holds women accountable for the decisions that they make. That's number one. And number two, and I don't want to make this personal, right, but my question is, how many women have you bled on prior to actually finding yourself?
How many women have I bled on?
Yeah, according to the context that you said. You said a lot of times.
Bro, from the age I started talking to women, 16, 15, I bled. trial and error. Like God really took me on a journey of learning myself, figuring out how to love myself, express, build financial wealth with nobody to guide me. I built financial wealth. I'm the first multi-millionaire in my family, and I'm the first to take care of my whole family by myself. Every member of my family I provide for. So, brother, yes, coming from where I come from, majority of the people in my neighborhood were either raised by their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunties. So when the brother is speaking, and I know he said he was raised in a household with his mother and his father, man, I salute that.
Oh, so you have studied?
No.
Because I didn't say that today.
No, we last had an interview when you came on the what was that?
The virtual.
You mentioned that. I just don't forget. I love you, brother.
No, that's dope. I'm glad that you paid attention to what I was saying.
That was beautiful because I was like, wow, that's amazing to see a black man say he had his mother and his father. But coming from where I come from, that's not the norm. So the men he's speaking to and the men I'm speaking to the majority. You're speaking to men that's coming out of households with fathers and mothers. I'm speaking to men that literally had to teach themselves how to be men, how to urinate. Shake it once, shake it 3 times, and playing with it. There's no man guiding a man and telling a man to do that. So I'm telling the brothers that's coming from where I'm coming from, brothers, heal. Your father, he might have been going through some things. You don't know. Heal. If your mother was abusive, because it happens. It does happen. Heal. That's the topic, brother. Heal. Heal yourself before you entertain a woman, or you will bleed on everybody. Because it's hard when you finally meet a woman that loves you and you're just gushing out blood, past relationships, mommy issues, daddy issues, sibling issues. So I just want to tell the young brothers again and the older men, heal. Put the pride, put the ego down and heal. Regardless if it's mommy issues or daddy issues, mommy issues, or both. We have to heal as men so we can become the fathers that we never seen or had. Regardless if we had fathers in our lives, we should become better versions of them. And if we didn't have fathers in our lives, we should strive to do for our children what no man has done for us. And again, I give all praises due to the Most High.
There you have it.
Man.
Anton, can we go to round two?
No, because we're not just gonna skip. We're not gonna skip past certain things.
Okay.
What we got?
He says he's speaking to a certain demographic of men. I'm speaking to people. I think that women and men need to heal, because there's no Captain Save 'em that's gonna come into your life and fix the things that you didn't fix yourself. And that's the difference between us. Fundamentally, on a lot of the things that we do agree on. Right? We do agree on a lot of things. The problem between him and I is that he doesn't speak to people. I believe that because he understands his audience, he understands his demographic. I think that he slants his words towards always speaking negatively towards men and don't hold women accountable, which is one of the reasons why he purposely left out the abusive mothers also. Because we can solve for 99.9% of all men in society today. And guess what? Because of how we are biologically made, 1% of men can populate 90% of all women. So even if all men got themselves together, men could still, certain demographic of men, because it's a false narrative to say and hold, if he's speaking to the majority of men, like he said that he was, it's a false narrative to say that the majority of men are out here doing things that they're not supposed to do, holding themselves accountable, and getting women pregnant out of wedlock. There's a small minority of men that's populating the majority of these women that's getting them pregnant out of wedlock. And so if you're going to speak to something, then you have to solve for the majority, not the minority. Women are out here choosing for themselves because they have the availability to do so. They having a slut walk. I seen you say, On Angela Yee's podcast, you told a woman that said that she was ready to slut it out because she had been abstinent for 2 years and she was ready to have 3 different guys at the same time, and you encouraged her. You said, go ahead, date them all. Date them all.
Yes, I did.
And so that absolves us. When you look at the pool of women that's available to a great man that then dedicated himself, let's say he preserved himself. Let's say he did what he was supposed to do. I'm not going to, in my right mind, tell this guy to go and marry a single baby mama. And I'm not saying that.
Hold on. Say that again. No, I didn't hear you. Just say it again,
We
please.
have that conversation coming up. So
all right, we're going to get there.
Yeah,
But the point is that.
But this was accurate,
the
though,
point,
y'all.
The point is that if you're going to speak to the majority, speak to the majority of the population, not just the majority of men that you think fit under your narrative, because they don't.
The reason why I speak to men, and this has to be highly important. I need my beautiful brother to hear this and all the other men hearing this. If we claim to be leaders, I'm going to speak to the man that's claiming he's the head. I'm not going to the woman if you're saying you're the leader or you're the head of the household. I'm saying, brother, if you want to move a certain way, do this. If your woman is upset, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself why. If you're the leader, we can't make excuses. I can't go to my woman and be like, oh, you're responsible for this, that, and the third. No, what's wrong with my own leadership? Am I doing something wrong? Am I misguiding something? Am I bleeding on something? Am I taking something for granted? As a man, if we're saying that we are leaders, we have to lead at all times and not just when things are good, even when things are bad.
Speak to the context of what I just said, though.
What are you talking about, brother?
About solving for the problems in the culture. It's not just one way. See, and this is what I'm saying, that when we get to a certain point, people start to expose themselves the longer that they talk, because they only have a one-track mind. They only can speak to one demographic, because that's not the minority. It's easy to pander, but it's much more difficult to solve for a problem. If I identify the problem as the majority of women are having sex with a minority of the men and getting pregnant out of wedlock, why are we not speaking to that? Why can't we solve for that? He's speaking about something of a man that's already in a position, or a man that's already, in a sense, solved for the problems that he had in his childhood. That's not entirely
That's not who I'm speaking to, brother.
Hold on. That's not entirely what we're talking about. I'm talking about getting people to the starting point.
Right.
That's almost like being in debt and telling somebody how to become a millionaire.
And we just did that.
We didn't.
Because you
take
never care of yourself before you get into a relationship. That's the beginning of everything.
The majority of your audience is women. Why are you speaking to men?
70% of my audience are men.
Lies. That is a lie, bro. The majority of the women that was in the chat before we even started this live stream was women that was saying whatever your slogan was, brother, those were women.
Because if you have women, listen to me, and I need this to be understood. If we're speaking on women and only men agree with me, I'm the wrong leader. If I'm speaking on women and the women agree, shouldn't the men listen to that?
No. Because we don't hearken to the voice of a woman. That's the whole reason why we get in this situation from Adam and Eve.
Brother,
no. You asked the question and I answered you.
Are women?
I don't listen to women.
Brother.
I listen to God.
Brother.
I take my guidance from God. I don't listen to women.
Brother.
It's straight from the top.
The man.
It's God over man, man over woman, woman over child.
Right.
I take into consideration what she says, but I don't hearken unto the voice of a woman.
Brother, like you just said, you have God, man, woman. God pours into man, man pours into woman. If I'm pouring into my woman the voice of God, God is going to speak through my woman. My woman is not beneath me. My woman is my equal. My woman is not beneath me. My woman is my equal.
What you got in that drink right
She's
there?
my other eyes, my other ears, my other brain, my other feet, my other hands. And brothers, those that want to gain wealth, love your women, put your women in position and trust them. If you're saying that's your woman.
Why you changing the subject?
No, it's the same topic,
You always trying to move
it's
the
the
goalpost.
same topic, brother.
When you get trapped, you do the same thing that Kamala Harris
we got
did.
a
You
sound
move the
for him.
goalpost.
Hold tight. I'm going to close this poll real quick. We
let's
got
close out the polls real
5,200
quick.
people in the chat. Guys, I asked you the topic of discussion, should men pay 100% of the bills? 53% of the audience, this is at 2,300 votes, say yes. So it's still 50-50.
Praises.
And it's still 50-50 on this one. What we want to do here, guys,
praises.
Anton, I said it earlier, Anton was right. This is not going to be a 2-hour show because that was
Facts.
just round one.